Hi everyone, it's Mr. Malillo. I wanted to record a quick screencast to show you what one looks like for this next assignment. So you're going to be doing a rhetorical analysis of a famous speech. You'll be analyzing one of the speeches you find in class for ethos, pathos, and logos to develop an important theme of the speech. A screencast is a video that records everything on your computer. I'm making one right now. It's so exciting. You're going to be using the Screencastify app for Chrome. That's this little icon up here. Right now, it is currently recording me. And I'll have a link for that on Google Classroom, and you could add that to Chrome and record your screencast right from your Chromebook. If you're going to do it in class, I would recommend bringing in your headphones with the mic so that it doesn't pick up some of the other people talking and recording. Your requirements for this assignment. You're going to create a Google slide, and I'll show you an example of one that I have. It's going to be 5 slides long. It's going to have a title slide with your name on it, the title of the speech, and the author's name. You'll have one slide, or it could be 2, doing a soapstone analysis of the speech. So just a brief description, a paragraph describing all the things of the subject, occasion, audience, purpose, speaker, and tone of the speech. If you need to go on a second slide, you can, but I think you'll be able to do it on one. And then you're going to have 3 slides, one for ethos, one for pathos, one for logos. And the only thing on the slide is going to be an excerpt from your speech. Your screencast is going to be you recording yourself talking about how the technique develops the theme of the speech. So this will probably end up being somewhere in the 5 to 7 minute range for you. I'm going to show you what one could look like right now for I Have a Dream. So your example should look like this. Rhetorical analysis of I Have a Dream, Mr. Malillo. I need to add Martin Luther King's name to this first page. This first slide, or rather the second slide, is my soapstone analysis. So here I talk about the subject, the occasion, the audience, the purpose, speaker, and tone of the I Have a Dream speech, but instead of bullet point form, I actually craft it into a paragraph. This is what you should do. So mine reads, on August 28th, 1963, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered one of the most influential speeches in American history during the March on Washington. So I have the occasion and the speaker right there, Martin Luther King Jr., and the March on Washington is the occasion. While speaking to an audience of African Americans, white Americans, and civil rights activists, Dr. King spoke of his dream for a greater America where all children are treated equal under the law and in the hearts of Americans. That is my subject as well, and the audience. With the Lincoln Monument as his backdrop, Dr. King delivered a passionate yet inclusive sermon arguing for a better life for our children. And here we have passionate yet inclusive is the tone, and arguing for a better life for our children is the is the purpose. Excuse me. All right. So you're going to have 3 slides like this. I'm just going to show you one. So here's an example of pathos from I Have a Dream. So you see I have my quote right here. We've come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make the real promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all God's children. So once you have this excerpt read, you're going to talk a little bit about how pathos first appears in that passage and how it connects to a theme, or it helps develop the theme of his speech. So for me, when I'm looking at this, I see pathos a lot of different ways. Right off the bat, using the phrase a hallowed spot. This word has a strong connotation about it has a lot of meaning to us, that we should have an emotional response to that as well. And that hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. And Dr. King here kind of makes an emotional argument by saying this is something that needs to be immediately addressed. It's an urgent matter. It's something desiring of our immediate attention. This also, later, this phrase, tranquilizing drug of gradualism, forcing us to slow down and not